Formula One is beautiful and brutal. From Chris Bristow's scrambling to Piers Courage heartbreaking accident. These are the 10 most painful Formula One deaths ever. Chris Bristow. It's 1960. Chris Bristow is just 22, Britain's next great hope. He arrives at Spa-Francorchamps, a public road carved through Belgian countryside. No runoffs, no guardrails, just open fields and barbed wire waiting beyond every turn. On lap 20, Bristow entered Bournonville flat out at 130 miles per hour, hit an embankment, and his Cooper launched skyward like a slingshot. The car flipped, metal twisting in the air, and Bristow was thrown into the barbed wire fencing that lined the course. The wire tore through everything: his suit, his helmet, his body. Jim Clark, one of the first to reach the scene, saw the wreckage, saw the blood, and said later he nearly walked away from the sport for good. Chris Bristow became Formula One's youngest fatality at the time. Only then did officials finally remove the barbed wire. Alan Stacey, just 5 laps after Chris Bristow's tragic crash, fate claimed another, Alan Stacey, Britain's star boy. At Spa's infamous Bournonville curve, a bird struck his face at nearly 140 miles per hour. In an instant, his vision vanished. His Lotus veered off, tore through the hedges, and plunged 25 feet into a field below before erupting into flames. Stacey never made it out. 2 deaths in a single race, one of them caused by a bird, shook Formula One to its core. Tom Pryce. The golden boy of the 1970s was Tom Pryce, a Welsh prodigy, just 27, driving for the Shadow Team. Fierce, fast, and utterly fearless. During the South African Grand Prix at Kyalami, Pryce was chasing the leaders when chaos struck. His teammate's car stalled and caught fire. 2 young marshals dashed across the track. No radios, no warnings, just instinct. As Pryce crested the hill at 270 kilometers per hour, one of them, Frederik Jansen van Vuren, stepped into his path. In a split second, tragedy erupted. Both were killed instantly, one by impact, the other by the flying extinguisher. That moment changed Formula One forever. Wolfgang von Trips. Monza 1961, the race that was meant to crown Wolfgang von Trips a legend. Germany's pride, Ferrari's golden hope, locked in a fierce duel with teammate Phil Hill for the world title. But on the second lap, fate took the wheel. As he swept into Parabolica, Von Trips brushed Jim Clark's Lotus, a split-second touch that unleashed catastrophe. His Ferrari tore through a barrier, spun violently, and flew into the crowd at over 130 miles an hour. Chaos followed, 15 fans gone. Von Trips thrown from the wreck, lifeless. Hill won that day, but celebration turned to silence. Jochen Rindt. Jochen Rindt was untouchable in 1970. Ruthless, brilliant, unstoppable. He'd crushed the reigning champion Jackie Stewart and all but sealed the title. Monza was supposed to be the victory lap, but something felt off. The Lotus's 72 was lightning fast yet fragile, stripped of wings for speed. It became a gamble. As Rindt braked into Parabolica, a front shaft failed. The car veered off, slamming head-on into a barrier that never should have been there. Silence fell, broken only by sirens. Rindt had unbuckled his lap belts, fearing fire, a fatal irony. The impact crushed his throat. He died that day, yet still became Formula One's only posthumous world champion. Ricardo Rodríguez. Ricardo Rodríguez was just 20, born with speed in his blood. He wasn't chasing fame, he was the dream. During practice at his home circuit, the fearless young driver attacked the Peraltada, a corner that demanded perfection, but fate intervened. A rear suspension failure hurled his Lotus into the Armco barrier at terrifying speed. The impact was instant, and so was the silence that followed. Mexico had lost its brightest star, Formula One, its youngest fatality. The circuit would one day bear his name, Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, a tribute to talent gone far too soon. François Cevert. François Cevert was meant to be the next great name in Formula One, Jackie Stewart's heir. As Stewart prepared to retire in 1973, Cevert was ready to lead Tyrrell into a new era. At Watkins Glen, he chased his first pole with fearless precision until one corner went wrong. His car clipped the curb, spun sideways, and struck the Armco at 150 miles an hour. The barrier didn't stop the car, it sliced through it. Stewart arrived moments later, but they wouldn't let him look. Cevert was gone. Helmuth Koinigg. Helmuth Koinigg was just 22, an Austrian rookie chasing his dream. Only his second race, yet he carried a nation's hopes. Midway through, his Surtees suffered suspension failure at turn 7 and slammed head-on into the Armco. At first it looked survivable, but the barrier was a death trap. The lower rail collapsed while the upper held firm, slicing through the car like a blade. In seconds, Helmuth was gone. 1 year after Cevert's crash, the same corner claimed another life. Jackie Stewart's fight for safety no longer sounded like caution, it became a call for revolution. Roger Williamson's career had barely begun when fate struck at Zandvoort in 1973. He was flying down the straight at 140 miles an hour when a tire burst without warning, sending his car tumbling and landing upside down in flames. Trapped inside, he screamed for help as fire engulfed the cockpit. His friend David Purley stopped his own race and ran through the smoke, trying desperately to overturn the burning wreck with his bare hands. The marshals stood frozen, untrained, unequipped. Purley fought alone, helpless against the inferno. Roger never made it out. His death exposed Formula One's shocking lack of fire safety. Piers Courage wasn't just a driver, he was Frank Williams' closest friend, his brother in ambition. Together, they were the future of Formula One. Piers had the talent to match legends. He'd beaten Stewart and Clark, and even Ferrari wanted him. But he stayed loyal, chasing glory with Williams. Then came Zandvoort, 1970. His car flipped, landing upside down, and in an instant, the magnesium chassis erupted in a blinding fireball, burning hotter than 3,000 degrees. Water couldn't stop it. The only way was to bury the flames in sand. For Formula One, it was a harsh awakening. For Frank, it was unbearable. He hadn't just lost a driver, he'd lost family. In chasing speed, they touched immortality, but every legend left a scar on the asphalt, because in Formula One, greatness and grief have always raced side by side.